We're going to look at it. So foul there on Indiana, on Hull there. But then that is a technical.
That is a technical. Dead ball, contact technical.
It's a little surprising to see so many of these happen in one game because...
Oh, and I don't like the way Lexie Hull...
The Indiana Fever rolled into Minnesota already gutted. 5 players out. Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, Chloe BBY, Sydney Coulson, and Ari McDonald. Odyssey Sims could barely walk, but shooted up just to give him a chance. And then came the gut punch. Lexie Hull takes a clear elbow to the face from Kayla McBride, but somehow the foul gets called on Hull. That moment lit the fuse. Caitlin Clark was furious. Fans were stunned, and everyone asked the same question. How does this keep happening? If the injury crisis wasn't brutal enough, the officiating felt like it was stacking the deck against Indiana's playoff fight. So what do you think? Are the refs targeting the Fever, or is this just bad luck? Drop your take in the comments, and let's break it down.
Every time a game happens in the WNBA, somebody's getting abused, somebody getting beaten, somebody is getting hurt, man. Somebody is getting hurt every game in the WNBA, and they just fail to realize this, fail to have any protocols on stopping the nonsense, man. My goodness.
Imagine stepping onto the floor against one of the league's toughest teams with more than half your roster gone. That's not exaggeration. That's the Indiana Fever's reality. Caitlin Clark, out over a month with a groin injury. Sophie Cunningham, done for the year with an MCL tear. Chloe BBY, sidelined with a knee issue. Sydney Coulson, season over with a torn ACL. Ari McDonald, shut down with a foot injury. That's 5 players gone before the ball even tips. And then there's Odyssey Sims, signed on a hardship deal, the backup to the backup to the backup of Caitlin Clark, hobbling out there far from healthy, but still forcing herself onto the floor because Indiana literally had no one left. Just hearing that list is exhausting. Now picture trying to win at a professional level with holes like that in your rotation.
The Indiana Fever's injury bug is getting into spooky territory. It seems like there's a new player every single day that's getting injured. Right now they have Caitlin Clark out, not sure if she will be returning this season. Sid Coulson out with a season-ending ACL tear. Ari McDonald out with a season-ending fracture in her foot. Sophie Cunningham out with a season-ending MCL tear. And then just today, before the game, they announced that Chloe Bibby would be out with a knee injury, and basically they just said it's soreness and they're just playing it safe.
This avalanche of injuries didn't just take away Indiana's stars. It shattered the very backbone of their rotations. Overnight, their wing and guard depth evaporated, forcing players like Lexie Hull and Kelsey Mitchell to shoulder an impossible burden. Just 2 nights ago, again against Minnesota, Hull logged a career-high 37 minutes and dropped 23 points. Not because it was a luxury scoring night, but because there was simply no one else left to step into that role. That's not opportunity, that's survival. Hull has the talent to post numbers like that anytime, but when every starter is stretched to their breaking point with no relief in sight, every possession becomes a mountain climb.
Lex, did you come into tonight kind of expecting to play darn near the whole game just with the injury situation and the personnel available?
Damn, you played 37 minutes.
I mean, you played a lot too, Kels. When did you play? 35. I mean, yeah, we're down people, so gotta suck it up, play a little tired a few minutes, and take in those timeouts as best we can. But yeah, I mean, we're down people, so everyone's got to do a little more.
Indiana's solutions have been nothing more than patchwork. Hardship contracts, players signed on the fly, thrown into the rotation before their bags were even unpacked. Odyssey Sims, already hobbling through her own injuries, was somehow tasked with steadying the offense. Aerial Powers was another emergency pickup, tossed straight into heavy minutes without a shred of chemistry built with her teammates. These weren't depth pieces easing in. They were shoved directly into the fire. That's a nightmare for cohesion. You've got a group trying to learn each other's rhythms on the fly while opponents are salivating, exploiting every gap in timing and communication.
We've had 3 players in the last I don't know how many days, and 2 of those players are point guards, so not really. But you know, at the same time, our ability to make plays out of what we have. right? I think a lot of our spacing allows players to do what they do best, creates opportunities for them to be successful, and then it's just making the right reads and finding the right pass, on time, on target. And some of that is with experience with your teammates, and some of that is instinct. And so we are trying to do as much as we can to put players in position to use those instincts.
Even Stephanie White couldn't hide it. The physicality Indiana ran into was on a level this shorthand roster simply wasn't built to absorb. And calling it different was a polite way of putting it. Every drive, every defensive possession demanded maximum energy from a lineup hanging by a thread. Through it all, Kelsey Mitchell was the one force refusing to crack. She poured in 26 points, split traps, fought through relentless pressure, and had stretches where it felt like she was dragging the Fever forward by herself. That's superstar basketball. But when the rest of your offense is patched together from emergency signings and players still learning the system, there's only so far one player, no matter how brilliant, can carry you.
At this rate, the Fever are going to end the season with a completely different team than what they started the season with. And even the players that they're bringing in on hardship or that they're signing midway through the season, they're now going down with injuries. The season from hell would be an understatement on this team right now.
This defeat had nothing to do with heart. It was about survival. Indiana fought like a team refusing to surrender, clawing through a nightmare scenario where every rotation was stretched to its breaking point. But as brutal as the injury toll already was, it wasn't the most devastating force they faced. The referees made sure of that.
Here's Mitchell. I think that's a 2. Doesn't go. And now it's McBride getting Hull.
Yeah, that one might be a problem.
Indiana just taking shots to the face.
Fans and analysts thought the review would set things right, but it only poured fuel on the fire. Slow motion replays showed clear contact, Hull clutching her face on the floor. Yet the officials barely budged, upgrading the foul just enough to say they saw something but not enough to actually hold McBride accountable. The result? Indiana, already held together by tape and grit, was punished for a sequence everyone watching could see was backwards. How do you justify that?
And Hull is checking her jaw.
See that one again. Kayla McBride goes up, grabs the board, and she wants to get free because Hull has her kind of wrapped, and boy, that's a hard swing. They're going to review it.
Across social media, Fever fans exploded with frustration. Was this just a blown call, or part of a bigger pattern? Because every time Indiana takes a hard shot, whether it's a shove, a body check, or now an elbow, the whistle rarely seems to fall their way. The perception is growing that the league is comfortable letting opponents rough them up, as long as the team in blue and red is the one absorbing the hits. And with half the roster already sidelined by injuries, seeing the officials effectively pile on is a last straw.
So you see Caitlin Clark, this video captured by Chloe Peterson at Shoot Around. You can see Caitlin doing some work right there, just, warm-up work, back and forth on the court, but nonetheless on a basketball court. It's been a long time since we've seen Caitlin Clark on a basketball court. Certainly a long time since we've seen Caitlin Clark play basketball. Then there was a little bit more footage here, and you see Caitlin involved on the floor yet again, even handling the ball, working with her teammates. I mean, that's an important sign there, to see her working with her teammates.
Caitlin Clark's return isn't just about adding points. It's about restoring order. She creates space for Boston, frees Mitchell, and makes the Fever look like a playoff team again. No hardship contract or patchwork lineup can replicate that. Her comeback could be the difference between Indiana crashing the postseason or watching from home. But here's the real question. Can one player, even Clark, carry a team fighting not only injuries but also whistles that never seem to go their way? The physical toll is obvious, the mental strain is mounting, and fans feel it just as much as the players do. So what do you think? Are referees stacking the deck against the Fever, or can Clark's return turn the tide? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Send Sophie your well wishes, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next breakdown.